Hey everyone, this is Derek Ledwidge from Strive Fitness Performance, and I am here with Vicki. How's it going, Vicki?
Good. Hey, everybody. So, doing really well. How about you?
I'm doing good. So I'm here with Vicki, and we're sort of making a little bit of introduction on. She's a new client, even though technically this is only a handful of times that I've actually seen her because we're going through the quarantine right now. And we wanted to jump on and talk about Vicky's journey thus far, just simply because she was able to do great things while we're going through a massive shutdown and everyone's freaking out and stuff like that. And so I wanted to give a little bit of insight on what she was able to accomplish. So with that, Vicki, introduce yourself a little bit. Tell us about who you are.
Sure. Well, again, my name is Vicki, and I have kind of been along a lot of different weight loss journeys, mostly ending up a little bit heavier than when I started them. And I'm a mom of two very active boys, married, and I work full time. And so in doing so, it was kind of a, well, I have time, and oh, nope, I don't. And oh, okay, now I can focus on me again a little bit. Nope, that's guilty. That mommy guilt is for real. So the struggle's real when it comes to that. And it was kind of that mindset that needed to change. So that brought me where I am today with trying something new I haven't done before with you guys.
Okay, great. Yeah, I know a lot of times people will always talk about that the mindset, the negative mindset, the especially mothers. You know, everyone's first. You know, I'm second, and stuff like that. So yeah, it's very, very, very common. Um, Tell us a little bit about the your struggles. You mentioned you did done multiple things for like diet wise and stuff like that. What were some of the things that worked? What were some of the things that that you sort of like struggled with?
Well, I mean, I've had a couple successes in my life. Even as a kid, I was kind of a little bit of a chunky kid, and then a very thin teenager because not eating and running around all the time kind of worked at that point. And then, as I had a pretty physical job like right after high school, so that also kept everything off. Where I felt like, all right, this is cool. Didn't really have to watch what I ate or anything because I was just always on the move. And then college and a more sedentary job and all that stuff hit where I was like, whoa, what's happening to me? So then the adult kind of hormones and metabolism set in, and it kind of just ballooned from there, literally. And so I've done the Weight Watchers and the exercise classes, and um, the all the fad diets, the cabbage soup diet, all those are awful, because you'll take it off pretty quick, but then it goes on even quicker the moment you touch something else. And it comes down to just, again, that negative mindset, because I'd fall into that cycle of shame, where it's, oh, now I'm bad, I'm doing something wrong. And so it kind of fits into that mindset of, I want something different to happen, but I'm not changing what I'm doing. I still fall into that cycle where do okay. I'd always hit about the 20-pound mark, and then it would all come back on with a vengeance again. And I would blame myself, and then, okay, forget this. It's not going to work, that sort of thing. So it didn't matter really what I tried. It always kind of came back on, and I always blamed myself after that. So it
Right.
was, again, just time to do something a little bit different. My boys are a little bit older, they're a little bit more self-sufficient, and I realized I'm not really any better for them if I'm not better for me. So
Great.
I'm
So what were you able to accomplish then since we've started?
well, right before you had the sweepstakes that came out in early late February. Before that, it was maybe about 4 weeks or so, that I had started doing some walking and going to Planet Fitness with my friend. And we've gone back and forth over a few years too, where we would walk and do really well. And we were doing Zumba classes, which we both kind of enjoyed, for a bit. So it was mostly the cardio, types of stuff, and just doing something with a little bit more routine and consistency. And so by the time I was very excited to find out that I was one of the sweepstakes winners with you. I was scared and excited, I'll say, because it's nothing that I had ever done before. But prior to that, I had a couple weeks in, where I was down maybe about 10 pounds, but now I'm down another 18 since the beginning of March and finding out that I was one of the sweepstakes winners. So by doing that, I'm still continuing with the walking. But I did find that I usually have that go to of just the cardio piece of it. I never trusted my body enough for the strength piece. Never really saw that that was just as equally important. But even more so than all of that, because I'm not anywhere near where you guys are and where your regular members are of doing anything with the strength based training. But it's the mindset, and I had to fix that first, this time. And so the support through all of the virtual, the emails, the Facebook messages, the check-ins, with you guys have made a big difference in realizing that, you're not bad, you're not lazy, you're not, negative, you're not doing something wrong, but it's just that life happens and you just have to figure out a different way to work it in. And that has really made a big difference where I'm down 28 pounds since the middle of February.
Awesome. Very, very cool. I know that like I was telling some people about that, some people about you on how like it's great just because like there's so many people that are, gaining weight, freaking out and stuff like that. And here you are losing 28 pounds. And so it's absolutely fantastic. And I know you mentioned to it a little bit, but I know you said that before it was always that 20 pound mark,
Mhm.
and I know when we talked in one of our check-ins, it was at that point. And you even mentioned that this is usually the time where everything stops,
Mhm.
and I sort of go right back to where I was at before. And we talked about that, and instead, well, we got over that, and you, like you said, you lost another 8 pounds. So what was the difference? What was the turning point to where it was not like what it used to happen?
I saw myself heading down that same path though of, oh, this is frustrating. Why am I stuck here? See, it doesn't matter what I do, kind of thing. And I thought, okay, instead of reaching out for something bad, I'm gonna reach out to you. So I did, and you kind of let me know that it's okay, that stuff happens. And even last week it was a rough week. And it was just having that sounding board, just that positive thing saying, no, this is just a moment in time. That was one of the things. I kind of jokingly sent the email to you that it doesn't matter what's going on. It's like you planted a bug or something. It's like when you get a membership, you also get bugged, because you know exactly what to say, exactly the message to send, exactly the right post to put up. It's like you're reading our minds or something. And it did, it kind of hit right where it needed to at the right moment of, hey, it's just a moment, and this
Fantastic.
doesn't, or doesn't define your journey. It's just a moment. And that made a huge difference. And I don't know if you realize how much it really does, but for somebody who's starting off like I am, that was huge and very helpful.
Fantastic. Yeah, I know that like the biggest thing that we always talk about here is the mindset. And I mean, so many people it's all just they perceive that they're doing something bad when, and that's usually what causes the downward spiral. And I know we talked about that a lot at the beginning, in the middle, constant, all that stuff. And so, but it's absolutely fantastic that you actually got a hold of that and you're aware. Most people aren't actually aware. They're very hard at looking themselves objectively. Hence why I have a job and a whole bunch of clients and stuff like that. But yeah, what about our, tell us a little bit about the community, even though you haven't actually seen any of them face to face. Tell us a little about the community.
I know it's really kind of funny with that because I've yet to meet everybody. But still this online support, that I've seen, and kind of the family quirks of, I saw some, some posts where somebody will call somebody else out, on something, or the humor, and I guess a Strive has a humorous sass part that I love. It just kind of fits my personality of the outgoing piece. And I think it also helps break down the walls, from a newbie who would be like, whoa, okay, I don't belong here yet. Which was kind of how I think anybody might feel, in something like this. Like, I haven't met everybody. And if I walked in tomorrow, I wouldn't know who was who, with the exception of maybe just, like, okay, I've seen that person on Facebook, but I couldn't put a name with a face. That part doesn't matter. I asked a couple questions about, preferences that people have on something, to kind of supplement, or, protein, or just, I mean, something simple. And everybody's always piping on, with their thoughts, or, their supportive messages too. And I'm kind of realizing it doesn't really matter, whether or not I met everybody. It's once you just say, hey, I want to do this, they're automatically part of your family. It's like you just kind of adopt everybody. And it was funny. I told my husband, I said, I kind of feel like, it's just this enveloped, support. You guys always have this wraparound. Not only do you know the right things to say, but you know when to say them. And you can tell that you guys know your stuff. So, and
Well, that's good.
it's not, because I've yet to, do anything like that. And you guys have welcomed me in with open arms. So
Very,
that's
very,
what I see.
yeah. Very, very cool. One last thing, and then we're done. Again, I mean, obviously we can't wait to open up or like that and actually meet you face to face. But how tell me a little bit about you thinking about coming to the gym. How nervous are you? How are you starting to get the mindset of, you know what, screw this, I can do this?
No, I'm still scared to death because I videos. You and Cam, I think, are going to kick my butt. But so that part scares me. But at the same time, I'm also kind of excited to get it to that next level. So it's that kind of anticipatory anxiety of the unknown. I don't know what my body can do. I've never pushed it like that. So, so that part is a little bit scary, but it's also kind of invigorating at the same time. Like, hey, I already made it past one point that I haven't made it past before. So, I've certainly, had success in putting on, you know, the kind of the front that I'm okay with this. So now I just have to carry it through and see what my body can do, and make a difference. And hope.
I, I know the biggest thing that's usually what people fall off on is, they think it's too much, because it can be intimidating, especially if you've never done some of this stuff, if you're just worried about like cardio and stuff like that. But I mean, anyone, just like a diet, anyone, like, you start where you're at, but anything can be modified. All you do is find that baseline, which we will do, find that baseline, and then you just become stronger. And honestly, I can tell you, and when we sort of talk about this in the Fit Fam group, I guarantee you so many people will talk about how addictive it is. And as soon as you realize that you can do some of this stuff, you're like, ooh, wow, I wonder what else I can do. I wonder what else I can do. And then you keep on going, and it almost becomes an addiction of being like, ooh, I want to be able to do more things now. And so that's where we're at, as we start going, and the SaaS will always continue because the business is built around me, and that's basically my personality. So yeah, so there'll be definitely more for that. Other than that, Vicki, I really want to thank you for coming on here again. Your story thus far is pretty great, just because of what you have accomplished during a time that most people aren't really accomplish anything. At best, they're sort of holding stuff back. So I want to thank you big time for being on here, and I can't wait to actually witness who you actually are.
Well, thanks so much. I'm looking